Have you ever wondered what your dog truly hears when you speak? In 2025, after years of breakthrough research, scientists finally decoded the secret of how dogs understand human language, and 98% of dog owners still haven't realized what's going on. Your dog doesn't just hear the words you say. They sense your tone of voice, your heart rhythm, and even the silence between sentences. What you think of as the dog understands words is only a small part of the story. They're memorizing your emotions, your state of mind, and your rhythm, turning every word, gesture, and sound into an emotional map of shared life. When you grasp this, you'll see that every word you say is not just a sound, it's a powerful influence on your dog's emotional world. And if you want to explore this whole secret and understand how your dog listens to you in a scientifically proven way, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. When you watch and recognize each cue every day with your dog, becomes deeper, more meaningful, and full of love. Ability 1. What dogs actually hear: left brain, right brain, and tone. When you speak to your dog, the real magic happens inside their brain. They're not sitting there translating every word like Google Translate. A 2016 study published in Science found that a dog's left brain processes words and the right brain processes emotion just like humans. But what's noteworthy is they care far more about how you speak than what you say. A compliment like "good boy" in a warm, enthusiastic tone will trigger a dopamine surge in a dog's brain, delivering pure joy. On the other hand, the exact same words uttered in a flat, emotionless tone produce almost no reaction. For dogs, your voice isn't language. It's pure emotional energy. Like music, they interpret note by note. This explains why dogs are so in tune with your happiness, anxiety, or anger, not because they understand each word, but because they perceive the emotional climate around you. When you speak, they don't just hear sound. They touch your feelings and respond in a vivid, precise way. Ability 2. Associative learning. Have you ever wondered why, when you say walk, your dog suddenly barks, jumps up, or races to the door? Or when you whisper treat, they appear by your side? They don't truly understand human language in the human sense, but they learn words through associative learning. A famous example is a border collie named Rico, who learned over 200 words. It wasn't because Rico understood English, but because his brain constructed a huge associative database. Ball, mamank, joy, chase, reward; sit, abarn, calm, focus, food. Each word became an emotional snapshot, combining experience, scent, stride, and time of day. For your dog, every word you say is stored in this way. When you say home or buddy, they don't just hear a sound. They recall hundreds of shared moments, your breathing rhythm, your coat smell, the familiar time of day. Words in their world aren't just language, they're vibrant emotional snapshots recording the entire shared life story with you. Iske matras bor. Ability 3. Voice as emotional weather. Your voice isn't just sound for your dog, it's the weather system of their emotional world. A gentle, warm tone creates an atmosphere of safety, peace, and light. Conversely, a burst of anger, even if not directed at them, can make your dog's heart race like an unexpected storm hitting. That's why when you argue, even among humans, your dog may withdraw or avoid you. They sense the storm. Research shows dogs remember emotional states long-term. They don't just react to your current tone, they also retain the feeling that your tone created last week, last month, or even last year. When you understand this, you'll realize that every word you say, every tone you use, creates an emotional climate in your dog's world, affecting heart rate, sense of safety, and peace. Your voice becomes an emotional map, a way your dog perceives and reacts long beyond the literal meaning of words. Ability 4. Body language and evolution. Your dog doesn't only hear sound, they read your entire being. Before words even enter your brain, they sense your breathing rhythm, shoulder movement, gait, and tone of voice. This language evolved over 30,000 years from pack-living ancestors where communication depended on tone, posture, rhythm, and energy, not words. Researchers at the University of Evos-Lorraine found that a dog's auditory region lights up not just when hearing sound, but when perceiving tone of voice. They immediately know when you're stressed, anxious, or relaxed even before you do. Dogs interpret subtle bodily cues from a slight muscle tremor to the rhythm of you opening a door and turn them into information to evaluate their surroundings. When you understand this, you'll see that your dog is not just a companion who follows commands, they're an extremely refined observer, reacting to every tiny thing you do. Every action, every small change in your body builds a complex emotional map for them, allowing them to adapt and connect with you more deeply than ever. Ability 5. Detecting stress. Before you do. You may think you can hide a bad day, but your dog already sensed your stress 20 minutes earlier. A 2022 study at Queen's University Belfast showed that when humans are stressed, the body releases cortisol, alters body odor, breathing, and sweat, all of which dogs detect with astonishing accuracy. But it's not just smell, they also read every subtle cue: a slightly lowered shoulder, a tone of voice that dips, or hesitation before you call their name. They're not therapists, they're extremely perceptive observers of your daily life, building a personal emotional map. When you change your routine, let out an unusual sigh or pause, strangely they pick it up instantly. This ability makes dogs emotional superheroes, always ready to respond by comforting, assisting, or simply being present. Once you realize this, you'll recognize that each look, tilt of the head, or paw on your lap is meaningful, a reaction to the emotional temperature you emanate. Full time. Ability 6. Responding through behavior and oxytocin. Your dog doesn't need words to talk back to you. They respond through behavior and body chemistry. When they lean and tilt, their head place a paw on your hand, or share a slow gaze, you and your dog both release oxytocin, the bonding hormone similar to that between a mother and child. Each glance, head tilt, or sigh near you is a complete sentence in the wordless language. Dogs choose when to show up, not loud, not demanding. They might ease in when you're sad, nudge you if you've been quiet too long, or roll beside your feet when you're sleepless. Every action is a subtle reply to your emotional state. When you understand this, you'll realize that dogs don't only hear you with ears, they respond with presence, love, and body chemistry. They communicate on a deeper level than words, where safety, connection, and love become the only language the two of you share without a sound needed. Ability 7. Detailed body language. Your dog communicates via every part of their body, from breathing, leg position, tail motion, to gaze and breathing rate. Every small gesture holds a clear message, one you might miss if you only glance superficially. When they tuck in a paw close to you in silence, it's a sign of sharing emotion. When they tilt their head as your tone changes, they're comforting you through presence. Every behavior, a deep look, a slow blinking, a curl next to you, is a sentence in the silent dialogue your dog has with you every day. When your dog sighs right after you sit down, it's not random, it's a reaction of comfort and safety. When they curl in time with your breathing, it's not instinct, it's a refined synchrony of connection. Understanding this, you'll see that what seems small are actually emotional bulletins. A story your dog tells through their body, reflecting observation, memory, and understanding of you. This is the language of presence, of love, and of deep connection beyond words. Ability 8. Responding and emotional attunement. Your dog doesn't just observe, they respond finely, tuning emotional resonance between you. When you slow down, inhale deeply, and relax, your dog adjusts, breathing tone and gestures to match. This concept is called attunement, sensing and responding to another's emotional state in real time. A 2020 study in animal cognition found that owners who respond to their dog's smallest cues build stronger, safer bonds. When you gently respond to their smallest signals, a blink, a head tilt, or a touch, you're telling your dog, "I see you, I understand you," and that increases their trust, sense of safety, and happiness. When you grasp this ability, you'll recognize that every daily interaction isn't just care or play. It's an emotional dialogue where you and your dog learn to sync, listen, and feel each other, creating a deeper connection far beyond words. Ability 9. Emotional long-term memory. Your dog doesn't just remember events, they record the emotions attached to each moment. A 2016 study showed that dogs have memory mechanisms akin to episodic memory, storing the feeling of each experience with you. Every word, every footstep, or every familiar sound isn't just a cue, they're emotional memories, bringing them back to a moment in time. That's why your dog doesn't just run to greet you because you said hello. They do it because your return means safety, warmth, and belonging. Your voice, your behavior, and your presence become an emotional map, shaping how they respond and build trust. When you understand this, you'll recognize that every moment with your dog holds timeless value. They store feelings, not just events, turning every moment with you into a long story about connection, trust, and love, something no explanation can fully cover. Ability 10. The impact of inconsistent voice and their trust. Algorithm. Every time you talk to your dog, you're unconsciously training them even if you don't realize it. When you use the same word but with different tone or call, their name happily one moment and angrily the next, your dog becomes confused and anxious, unsure of what's consistent. A 2020 study at the University of Sussex found that inconsistent communication elevates dog anxiety and reduces trust in their owner. But the remarkable thing is, the dog doesn't blame you. They blame themselves for not understanding the signal. That's why consistency is the key. Same word, same tone, same action, they feel safe. In the dog's world, being able to predict your behavior and tone equals safety. Moreover, studies on trust algorithms indicate that your dog builds a trust score based on real experiences with you. When you promise a walk and deliver it, they add points. When you stay calm amid a storm and they feel safe, they add points. Over months and years, your voice becomes the most trusted frequency in their universe, whereas strangers only get polite responses, not the deep bond. When you understand this, you'll see that your dog not only reacts to you, they choose to trust you. Building their trust step by step, by observing, remembering, and analyzing all your words, tone, and actions. That's why they react so specially to you and why your consistency and presence matter so much in their world. Ability 11. Voice frequencies and ultrasound. Hearing. Your dog hears many frequencies humans cannot detect. Human ears hear roughly 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Dogs may hear up to 65,000 Hz, over 3 times what we can hear. When you speak, your voice doesn't just carry the main frequencies of the words. It carries subtle harmonic frequencies that transmit your emotional state you can't control or even detect. This explains why you cannot fool your dog with a fake happy tone when deep down you are sad. They hear the real channel underneath, identifying your true emotion. Some research even indicates dogs can hear your heartbeat when you're near them, turning that into additional data to assess your emotional state. With this ability, every word you say becomes a multi-layer emotional symphony. Your dog doesn't just hear it, senses analyses, and reacts. They live in a world where your voice tone and heartbeat combine into a special language and inner message only dogs understand. Ability 12. Brain chemistry effects. Every time you talk to your dog in a warm, loving tone, you're changing their brain chemistry in real time. A 2023 Duke University study found that when dogs hear their owner's voice, their brain releases oxytocin, bonding and security, dopamine, joy and reward, and serotonin, calm and relaxation. Even more astonishing, this reaction was stronger than responses to food, toys, or other dogs. Your voice becomes the strongest reward in your dog's emotional universe. Conversely, if your voice is tense, angry, or harsh, dogs may raise cortisol, the stress hormone levels, by up to 150% within 20 minutes, affecting sleep, appetite, and behavior long term. This means every conversation, whether aimed at your dog or not, is a chemical event in their body. Your tense phone call, your family argument, those quiet whispers before bed, all are recorded and directly affect their emotions. Your voice isn't just language, it's either a medicine or a poison, and you control the dosage word by word, tone by tone. When you understand this, you'll realize that each word and each tone you use holds extraordinary power to affect not only your dog's emotional world, but their health too. It's also an opportunity to build a deep, enduring, love-filled bond. The world your dog experiences is truly unlike ours. They don't just hear words, they sense tone, rhythm, silence, gesture, breath, and even your heartbeat. Every word, every gesture, every action becomes part of an emotional map they use to understand, evaluate, and respond to you. From hearing ultrasound frequencies to building long-term emotional memories, your dog is a subtle observer, a loyal ally, and an emotional weather watcher. When you understand and respond to these delicate cues with presence, gaze, breathing, and consistent tone, The bond between you and your dog becomes deeper, safer, and full of love. Start watching, listening, and responding to your dog more. Every look, every head tilt or sigh is a story, a message of love they send to you daily. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss other incredible secrets about your dog's emotional world. When you learn to step into their world, every day together becomes more meaningful, more connected, and more full of love than ever.